Good evening, YouTube. It is your favorite guidist here, Coco. It's formerly known as Drixum. I decided to change my, display username, everything around a year or two back, and now I'm with you today to give you a guide video on how to get all the new Super Tower Defense achievements and how to get all of them that sweet and beautiful golden glow. As you can see right here. Now, how the achievements work is the front of the trophy here will always display your current highest wave as of the achievements update. And on the back here are all your badges. Now, what do all these badges mean? We have Min-Max, Level Playing Field, Penetrator, Hoarder, Making Sense, No Time to Explain, Loveliest Tower, Untouchable, Radiophobia, and Lifetime Award. Now, some of these don't have text on Quest. I don't know if it's the same on PC. That might be a bug. I might need to report that to Anton, which is the world creator of this lovely little VRCHAT world we have here today. Alright, I am not going to do raw footage of this, because that would take way too long, and I do not have a billion hours of free time. I have stuff I like to do other than vibe around in VRCHAT all day. So I'm just going to make a basic speech tutorial to probably give you a decent understanding of how to properly get all of this going on. Now, first things first, Min-Max. Only damage with minigun towers. Since I already have this gold, it won't display the wave amounts or number on the badges. That is the requirements. So for most of these, the requirement will be the wave count. Like for instance, Min-Max 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, and etc., etc. Basically, these are telling you your requirements. Some of them are the current wave. The only exceptions to this are Loveliest Tower, Untouchable, Lifetime Award, and Making Sense. Loveliest Tower makes you get hearts. The number on the sticker over here is the amount of hearts you need to get that current medal. For Lifetime Award is the amount of times you need to win the game if you're new to Super Tower Defense in VRCHAT. To basically win, you have to get to wave 50, and if you decide to go further than that, wave 100 also counts as a win. So you could technically get to wave 100 11 times to get to 22, or 12 times to get 24. And you can just go to wave 50 one more time after that and get the gold. This is, in my honest opinion, the most laziest to get achievement. You will get this passively by just hanging out in Publix, assuming you join before wave 5, because that is when achievements get disabled. For a pretty good reason too, because of this. Anyway. First off, let's start with Min-Max. The silver medal wants you to get to wave 50 with just miniguns, and the gold one wants you to get to wave 75. Now, wave 50 is entirely possible by just placing down a minigun literally anywhere and just spamming these and upgrading them to max. That is all you need to do to get the silver, but it is entirely different. Completely entirely different for the gold medal of Min-Max. To get the gold medal for Min-Max, you need radar. You need thumper. And like I said before, I'm not going to demonstrate the raw footage of this Min-Max guide unless People absolutely want me to make a video on these achievements and how to get them legitimately with just pure raw footage alone. If people want the raw footage, I will give them the raw footage. Otherwise, I will just be here trying to demonstrate to the best of my ability without actually playing the game. Now then, for min-max, the general strategy I have managed to figure out is a tier 4 minigun, which is the max upgraded minigun if you are new to this world. You just need one of these, and the tier 2, which is the second upgrade, or I guess first upgrade that you get, that costs 4,500 points. Or I guess coins. And you only need those 2 towers in order to survive long enough to get your first money radar. You need a tier 3 money radar, the one that gives you extra money on kill. You need to spam these as much as possible, but you also need to make sure you got enough of these miniguns as much as possible. So to get the min-max, I recommend you keep doing that. One twinigun will last you to about 28, 30-ish. You will need 2 afterwards. After you get your first money radar, you will need the second one. That should last you until the second money radar. And just in case things get dicey, you can always use a thumper. They do not disqualify you from the achievement, as thumpers do not deal damage. I wish I did. Anyway, on to our next one. Level playing field and penetrator. I'm going to do a double for this one because it is basically the same exact strategy, just with 2 different towers. Now for this one, if you're just joining fresh off the world on an invite friends plus or whatever instance type, you need to place your first, or at least one of the 2 minigun towers right here, or in this general area. The reason why you want to do that is you cannot afford a spear if you upgrade your minigun. Meaning, I'm just going to start a wave here real quick. You have to survive wave 5 with just 2 base miniguns. And the only way you can do that is if you have a minigun covering as much area as possible, but also good RNG is also kind of involved as well at the same time. So I'm going to place a second one right here just for the fuck of it. And this is the only one I will give a baseline demonstration from. When it hits wave 5 and it has cleared wave 5 without you losing a single heart at all whatsoever, you are free to grab the hammer and sell. Now, the position you put the rocket and spear incredibly matters. If you have seen my efficiency guide, it is basically a similar strategy. Yet it is heavily altered in the sense that you need 4 tier 2 rockets just to survive up till you get your first money radar. And after that, it's still incredibly dicey, as you might need, for rockets, you might need 2, 3, 4, who knows? I am still figuring out the exact strategy for that, so one big crucial detail about those 2 after wave 5 achievements is you are going to lose lives, regardless of what you do with the strategy. You will lose lives, but as long as you figure out how to balance your money radar and the tower you're doing the challenge with the thumper, because you will need the thumper very early on, incredibly early. It is almost ridiculous how early you need that. But as long as you balance your money radars and getting the upgrades, or I guess more towers depending on the circumstances, you will be fine. You will be entirely fine. As long as you can manage to spam these. Now, given certain circumstances, there might be a little bit of edits to the strategy. For example, in order to get the gold min-max on wave 50, make sure you absolutely need to do this. Get the tier 4 thumper. You will need this. It is required. Do not get the ice thumper. Get the last one. Get the one that sends them back in time to the ice age. Because if you do not, you will die on wave 70. No matter what you do. And the optimal strategy for this is you want to at least have 12 miniguns and 12 radars at the end of everything, because that is the most efficient. That is the maximum DPS you will have for a damage tower and radars is 12-12. If you go any higher than that, it will start to fall your DPS off hard and heavy. Because of the fact that the raiders not only give a fire rate buff, but when that fire rate buff is completely capped out, it will start to give that tower damage instead. For example, for the tier 4 minigun, if you, say for instance, put a fire rate radar, which is good Wi-Fi, a fire rate radar will not increase its fire rate, but it will increase its damage instead for the twin-gun. The same thing goes for any other tower where the fire rate is completely maxed out at 0.1 seconds. Or I guess 1 second depending on scenarios and calculations. But you see there, I survived wave 5 and I have enough for both a spear and a rocket. Not only just the base rocket, but an upgrade too. You need the upgrade. No matter what, you need to get the upgrade as soon as possible. And my honest way of doing that challenge in specific is this would be the same position for both spear and rocket. You need to do a double. One spear here, or one spear and rocket here, another here, radar, and then 2 more. 4, in my honest opinion, have been the perfect amount. Sometimes you lose a life, sometimes you might need more, depending on the situation. But in my honest opinion, 4 is quite enough to get to the first money radar. Basically, you should, from my efficiency guide videos, you should understand what to do from there on forth. But just in case, I will do a raw guide video that you can follow along only when it's moderately asked for. Hoarder is simple. You just don't sell any towers. It's a little bit different from the efficiency setup where I do sell towers just to get afford the money radar faster. But you can absolutely get to wave 100 without selling towers using the efficiency guide without selling any of the towers that I sell. You just need to make sure you get the tier 4 miracle only when it's gonna be the 25th tower. And only then will it work out for you. The next thing we have here on the list is making sense. This is one of the ones that aren't wave dependent. This is the amount of cash you need to receive. First, it's 10 million, then 15 million. Now, for 10 million, that is pretty simple. You just do a high wave run, which my efficiency guide already allows you to kinda do. But the 15 million... the gold for that one is honestly the hardest achievement to get, in my opinion. It has taken me at least 25 attempts. Would have probably been 10 or something like that if it Or 1 if it weren't for the random quest crashes, because not enough RAM memory on these stupid fucking headsets. But honestly, I don't have a full legitimate way to do this. It is basically just greed as much as you can with money radars. Greed, greed, greed. It is heavily required, but I will give a few words of advice. Do not, for the love of God, go past wave 165 when you are doing that achievement. I would highly suggest to use a calculator. If you do not use a calculator, you will not know when to sell. Usually when it comes to me, one Trinity with just 24 radars surrounding it will make it to 94. And after that, sell a radar to place a thumper, that will make it to 104. And then after you sell one more radar for another that will make it to 119, 129, or if you want to play it safe, 124 or 129, depending on when you want to play it safe at. Then 3 will make it to 139 or 135. 134 is when you want to get another one. Then etc. 144 if you want to play it safe. 149 if you want to continue to greed. Then 154, then 159, 164, etc. It's basically the efficiency guide, but you have to really greed. You have to, uber greed. But anyway, enough of that. For that one, I suggest using a calculator and looking at all the sell rates. Well, before I got cut off by a sudden crash, you want to do all the sell rates. You want to look at it all with the hammer. And you want to use a calculator to calculate your total sell value and add it with the current amount of cash you have. Try not to buy as many hearts as you can. I personally managed to get it on wave 154, but I used a bit of cheese for that, so you might get it on 159, 164, who knows. It is completely up to how you do your runs, so yeah, use a calculator when doing that one. And the next achievement, I crashed, so I can't really point towards it. But the other achievement on the board, if I recall correctly, is the one that deals with the thumper that you place on the button. You just get to wave 100 without turning it off, starting from wave 1 to 100. That is super simple to do. And you can pair that with the no-sell one. You can get the no-sell and the auto-start, full-on auto-start without disabling it at the same time. You can get those two at the same time. So the one after that, I believe, if I recall correctly, is the Loveliest Tower. That is also kind of another high wave kind of deal going on there. That one, you have to get 30 hearts for silver and 50 for gold. Now, honestly, you don't really need to pre-plan for that. Just do a normal high wave, and you should be able to get 50 hearts, no problem. As long as you make sure you plan it beforehand. I think the lowest wave you could possibly get that at is likely, again, 154, but depending on circumstances, it could be a little bit higher or lower. Who knows? It really does depend on a lot of factors. And the one after that, I believe, is Untouchable. For that one, that is also super simple. You cannot take damage for 100 waves. And basically, doing the efficiency strat, you kinda already doing that anyway, so you can probably pair Untouchable with the No Cell and Auto Start one at the same time to get a triple gold in the same run, assuming you don't crash like I just did. And then the one after that is Radar Phobia. Honestly, that is the easiest of the achievements, in my opinion. Just like get miniguns, and then after you start getting money rolling, just spam twin guns, which is the tier 3 spear, or depending on how you feel, spam the tier 3 rockets. It really depends on how you feel, which one does more damage or which one is more reliable. And for that one, you don't really need thumpers either. You could probably place 1, 2, or 3 around if you're really struggling. And honestly, that one you don't really need to worry about how many lives you leak, because again, you're not really getting the tier 4 upgrades anyway. But just in case you feel like it, you could just get a tier 4 if you think you have the funds, or if you think you'll be able to survive it with it. Honestly, in my opinion, get the gold Radar Phobia first. It'll make the other ones less worrisome to go for. And then the final achievement is basically the amount of wins you get. Like I said before, you can just get that passively. And it's total amount of wins across your entire time playing in the achievement update. So you could honestly just leech off of public instances or whatnot to get that one. And it's just 25 wins in general total across your account. That is super easy to get. That is like lazy. You could probably just be lazy with that one and just leech off of public instances. And that will be it for the basic guides. If I can figure out how to fix the crashing issues on Quest 2, I would probably consider doing raw videos. But right now, since I seem to crash more easily when I'm recording, I probably will not be doing that unless it is heavily requested. But anyways, this has been CocoaPix. I will be signing up. Hopefully this was a formal enough guide for the achievements for you. And if, just in case, you feel like you're not following along, or you need like a little bit of extra help, I will, just for this update, offer the ability to get the achievements for you. Yes, you heard me right. Because I have enough time in my hand to do that. If you are struggling enough to that point, you can, I will allow you to friend me on VRCHAT, but you need to beforehand tell me it's only going to be for the achievement that you're struggling on. And I'll help you get that achievement goal. But I will only offer this to people that are willing to pay me, because I'm not going to do it for free. Hell the fuck no, I am not doing this for free. But to make it fair, depending on the achievement, I will price you according to that. But I'm not going to carry your ass for free. But anyway, with that out of the way, I will be signing off, uploading this to YouTube, and I'll probably just be chilling around in the public instances of this world a little bit, just watching people play. Anyway, bye-bye!